Welcome back to the Sunday Supplement. A very good morning to you. Lots of criticism of Arsenal's indiscipline, especially again at Newcastle yesterday, and criticism too, Neil, of Arsene Wenger's behaviour. Certainly, you know, in the build-up to the season, his press conferences, and Barcelona are saying that they're close to signing Fabregas. Wenger says, "I know nothing about it."
Yeah, no, it's incredible. He should have. Fabregas and Samir Nasri, they should have been sold at the start of the summer when they've had the opportunity to sell Nasri to Manchester United or Manchester City since the start of the summer. We've known that Barcelona, this idea that Arsene Wenger on Friday playing a game with the media before they played Newcastle, that no one is leaving from this football club, Cesc Fabregas is staying. To my knowledge, there is no change in the situation. Well, I don't really see how that enhances his cause or Arsenal's going into their first Premier League game of the season, knowing what a pivotal and perhaps career-defining season it is for Arsene Wenger. We know that Cesc Fabregas is going to Barcelona. There's only one bidder. So Arsene Wenger, this poker face, this idea that he is in the press conference trying to flush out another team or a bigger bid from Barcelona, that's not going to happen. They're just arguing at the moment about the clauses in Cesc Fabregas' contract, which relates to the performance of the team.
But if Barcelona are saying it's almost done, why does Wenger have to play the game of saying, "Well, I don't know about this"?
No, well, it's defiance and it's also denial, because everybody he doesn't like anybody knowing Arsenal's business. They prefer to announce transfers, either the sale of players or the acquisition of players on the club's website. They like to be first to it. And Arsene Wenger, particularly in this situation with his star player, the star player who's wanted to get away for the past 2 seasons, that he's not comfortable with the situation. But the players at Arsenal can't be comfortable with it either. Yesterday, during the game, Jack Wilshere's tweeting about Arsenal's tactics, that get attack fullbacks and get Theo Walcott on. I mean, who's the manager here? Is it Jack Wilshere by remote control who's not even playing, or is it Arsene Wenger? Because at the moment, I don't see leadership at Arsenal.
Do you have sympathy?
I feel sorry for him, though, aren't we? That's the thing I never thought would be out. We're looking at a guy who we all respected, who we all plays fantastic football, won trophies, we loved his battles with Ferguson, and he's sitting there and he looks sort of a shadow of the bloke who was this sort of, "I know, I'm doing the right thing." We all went, yes, Arsene knows, yeah, obviously,
we
yes,
all
he
lauded
knows.
him for his philosophy of bringing in young, talented players who could make the grade and get into that first team, these uncut diamonds, these rough diamonds that he could turn into world-class or top-class players. We thought the philosophy was brilliant, and if he could achieve success with that way, then that would be the perfect way to build a football club and a football team. But unfortunately, the philosophy is forward, and it's a shame for Wenger, and it's a shame for Arsenal and their supporters. But considering the investment that Chelsea have made, that Manchester United continue to make, and now Manchester City and Liverpool as well in that bracket, Tottenham beyond that, who they had bad results against last season, that all of a sudden Arsenal's slipping further and further.
Can you believe it? Interesting.
I said 12 to 1 for the title they were being rated at last night. That can't have happened since 1990.
Touchline yesterday, and going to the fourth official, you weren't surprised. You thought, here we go again. I just wanted to change it. Ash mentioned there Manchester City. The other transfer saga of the summer has been Tevez. Story.
Sean knows where he's going.
Story in the paper again today. I think on Saturday morning's story, some of them, I know you did different ones, saying Mancini telling him nobody wants you, but it could be resurrected.
I think, you see, nobody wants you is a bit unfair, isn't it?
No one can afford
Lots of people want Tevez. It's affording them now. Arsene Wenger tried to swap
Milan back
Nasri for Tevez, direct swap. You're not going to get it, are you? Because he's got 1 year left on his contract. Tevez's got a few more. They rate him twice the value, whatever. Inter Milan keep hovering around in the background. Can you get a swap deal going with Snyder? Possibly. I think it's a very odd one, but I cannot see how Carlos Tevez stays at Manchester City beyond August 31st. Can you?
No.
How can that happen?
Have they opened any more restaurants in Manchester since he's been away?
Somebody will work out a way of doing a loan deal or financing his wage, because wages obviously not the problem. But then we hear from Tevez's camp, well, he doesn't have to be paid that much. There's ways of working it out. It's not all about money. He just wants to be happy. Then he wants to be nearer his family. 200 miles south to London, is that enough? Is it going to Inter Milan? Is Milan nearer? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure he knows exactly what he wants, Carlos, except that he wants to leave Man City.
Well, the game's called his bluff, basically, hasn't it? He's run out of places to go because nobody wants to play this ridiculous game.
But you want him as a player. You'd want him in your team. 20 goals. I mean, even when he's dissatisfied at Man City, he's one of the best players on the pitch. Really, he gives it everything. I don't think you can dispute that.
How does he play them all? I mean, if he signs Nasri and he's got Tevez, he's linked with Neil Lennon, so Aaron Lennon this morning.
Well, yeah, but two are moving out, aren't they, for a start?
Yeah.
Well maybe they're moving out. They're supposedly moving out.
So, but I mean,
they've moved out of their house.
Yeah.
Well,